Angelique, also known as The Light. Welcome to my channel. I don't know who's up. It's almost 11 p.m. in New York City. If I look a little weird, my eyes look a little weird because I was crying all day. So you know how like you be crying and your eyes start to water. Hey, what's up? Hey, handsome rude boy. How you been? Oh boy, trying to make sure my hair don't look too crazy. I know, that's all right. It looks okay. Whew. I said, let me come on for a little bit and talk to you guys. Oh yeah, happy February, everybody. How was everybody January? Mine, whew, whooped my ass. It really did. It really whooped my ass. It's been, 2025 just got here and it's already a lot. It's already testing me. Happy New Year, Miss Denise. Oh man, ooh, too much lotion. Oh my goodness, I went through something horrific in January. I'll do a video about that, but maybe in a couple of months I'll do a video about that, but I'm not ready to share that yet with YouTube. But something very unexpected and tragic happened to me in January, and I was like, 2024 already whooped my ass. I'm like, God, what is going on? The first month in 2025 and I'm already being attacked. What the hell is going on? I don't know what's going on in the Matrix, really. But I know that there are people who are going through worse things than me. So I'm going to try to stay positive. And if you're going through some things as well, I hope you stay positive too. But then today, the first of the month, I wake up and the first of the month, I always go grocery shopping. I always buy toiletries that I need, for the month. And I usually go grocery shopping like maybe 2 or 3 times out of the month, but I always go the first week of January, the first week of the month I go. So I have 2 cards, right? One is my main card where like my Cash App, my Zelle, my PayPal, like bills are connected to that card. And then I have another card where I usually use that for like shopping and toiletries and groceries and stuff like that. So I had a deposit coming into the other card. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to go grocery shopping because I have like nothing in my fridge. I have like a bag of frozen shrimp and ice. That was it. I didn't have a gallon of Poland Spring. Like I have nothing in my house. So I'm like, okay, I have to go grocery shopping and I need toiletries and things like that pretty much. So I wake up really early. I couldn't sleep anyway. I couldn't sleep anyway. I don't know what that means, so I got to get you out of here. I couldn't sleep anyway, so I was like, let me get up. So I checked my account. I checked that particular account to see the deposit was there at 7 a.m. Why my account says 0? So I'm like, 0? I'm like, how's my account 0 when I still had a couple of dollars in that account? So I'm like, what the hell? So I don't have that account's app on my phone. So I'm like, let me download the app and go try to sign into the account so I can see a visual of what the hell is going on. So I call and I can't get to a representative. I think it was like too early or something like that. So I'm like, let me go. I'm from New York. So I'm like, let me look online. So I look online and it's saying 0. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, my heart dropped. I'm like, yo, what is going on? And I'm trying to be positive. Like, I'm not a person who thinks negative first. I was like, oh no, that's okay. My money's going to be there. There might be a glitch in the system. You know, people have been saying like some things have been going weird with certain accounts. So I'm like, oh, maybe it got wiped out. And then like later on today, my money will be there. I'm like, no, it's going to be there. Or maybe it'll come Monday because it's Saturday. Guys, somebody got me. I don't know how these people got my money, but they got me. They got my last $300, okay? And it's looking like I'm not going to get the money back. I was talking to somebody, a representative today, and they're not trying to give me the money back. And just be careful when you go to certain stores, when you use your card, don't put your PIN number in, hit credit. Okay. So they're putting like those fake things over like ATMs and different things like that. And that's how they're getting your information pretty much. I'm going to call back on Monday and see what they can do. But I just had to like report my card stolen so I can get a new card and have to get a new PIN number and everything like that. But that's how I spent my first day of February in 2025, having fraud on my last. And y'all know I have not been working a 9 to 5 since June. So I cannot afford for people to be stealing $300 from me. When I tell you I was crying, that's why I don't even smoke. Y'all know I don't smoke green. Like, my eyes is low because I've been literally crying all fucking day. Okay, I'm having me a little drink, a little cocktail right now. I was bawling all day on and off, just crying. When you hustle hard, when you're not working a regular job, and somebody steals from you, that shit is like crazy. It's like devastating. But y'all, please be careful because times are hard and it's gonna be like a lot of stealing, a lot of scamming. Change your passwords as much as you can. Change your PIN numbers as much as you can. Don't trust people you're around. You don't know who, is struggling or whatever the case. Your friends, your family, your lovers could steal from you. People come over to your house, put your card up. You don't know, like, people are crazy like that, basically. I'm still going to try to like fight to get my money back. But as of right now, they're not reimbursing that money back to that account. But yeah, so click like on the chat. I always talk about stuff before I start getting into the topic pretty much. But that's pretty much what's been going on. How do y'all feel about these plane crashes? This is really sad. This is crazy. And I live in New York, and I live near LaGuardia Airport. So I see airplanes pass over my house pretty low every single day. And it's pretty scary because we're going to see a lot more planes falling out the sky. I told you this is spiritual war. A lot of you may not understand. We've been warned. They even showed us these things in movies of what's going to happen. I don't like to put fear in nobody, but just try, if you can limit your travel, which is hard for me to say because I'm a traveler. And I so badly, when income tax come, I so badly want to plan a trip. But like in my heart, I may not go anywhere this year, like plane wise. I'll pray about it, but just be careful, guys, because it is a war. I know it's a war that we don't understand. We don't know all the details about, of different dimensions and different worlds and different beings. And I kept telling y'all, there are people walking this planet. They look human, but they're not human. And a lot of spiritualists been saying it, like they taking these planes down because there are beings on these planes that are not supposed to be here. And it's sad that innocent people will perish, trying to take these other beings out pretty much. There's no way. Y'all know aviation. There's no way that these planes could just be falling out of the sky or crashing into each other. It was intentional. It was intentional. Right, exactly. It is definitely thank you for the compliment. Yes, that movie. What was it called? Oh my gosh, what was it called? The one that Obama and Michelle were executive producers on that movie. Mm-hmm. They're showing you, and it's so crazy because they put these things in movies, they put these things in TV, and people and Marvel in cartoons, and people just think, oh, this is entertainment and this isn't real. Whatever's in Hollywood is real. It's reversed. Most of the time, the things that are on the news is fake news, and whatever's in movies and television shows is real. Oh, thank you for the compliments, guys. But yeah, and there's a lot of other planes that fell. I know there was, what was it, one in Japan or Korea recently back in December. So it's not, kind of America, we kind of just don't pay attention to the rest of the world, but this has been going on all over the world. Definitely. But, and I do think eventually they're going to slow down on travel. They're going to try to stop us from traveling. I'm also noticing a weird thing. It could be also a way of cleaning up. You already know they're trying to get immigrants out of the US. But I noticed this too. I don't know if this is in your state, but I got a letter in the mail talking about I need a real ID. I said, what the fuck is a real ID? So what have I been using all this time? So I don't have a driver's license, but I have a non-driver's license. And I've had that since I was a teenager. So I get this letter in the mail talking about I need to change my ID to a real ID, or I won't be able to use that ID to get on domestic flights. So what the hell have we been using all this time? Fake IDs? So I'm like, yo, what are they doing? What the hell is that about? Oh my goodness. These people got to get out of here. These damn trolls, man. Oh Lord, here we go. These people are so nasty up in here. Do me a favor, guys. Whenever like a troll comes in, don't repeat what they say. Just write troll in the chat. That's it. Don't give these beings energy. A lot of them are just losers who sit at home. A lot of them are government agents who play around on these apps to antagonize people. A lot of them are AI. Don't even argue back with them. Don't repeat what they say. I already see what they say. Just if I'm talking and I don't see it, just write troll in the chat for me. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just I find that interesting. How everything that's in these movies is coming to pass, and these IDs, and I'm like, real ID? What the hell is a real ID? That doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to do some more research. I'm not sure if I'm going to switch my ID over to a real ID. It basically says like, you won't be able to fly if you don't change your ID to a real ID. And I'm going to tell you what I think. I think it has something to do with the immigrants. So they want people to show up to, see, a lot of people have fake IDs. That's what you see. You got to think about how these people talk. They said real ID because there's a lot of people who are using fake IDs. So now they're changing the IDs because they're trying to make it harder for people to use IDs. You get it? So people have been here illegally using the old ID, but now they're making people redo their ID with some type of symbol on it. It's all immigration. That's all it is. It's just trying to crack down on who's legal and who's not legal. So you think they can't duplicate the new real ID? Huh? What are you talking about? So that's all it is, man. This country is going downhill. It's crazy. I don't think I'm going to be switching my ID over because it says I have a passport. So it says that for now on, if I don't change my ID to a real ID, then I'm going to have to use my passport to get on a domestic flight. What? A passport to take a domestic flight? This is crazy. But how do y'all feel about it? How do y'all feel about them cracking down on illegal immigrants? Are y'all illegal immigrants? Don't say that in the chat. Or do you have family and friends who might be? Are you scared? How do you feel? I really can't relate because I am a citizen, born and raised here in America. I really don't know if I have any friends who are illegal because I don't ask people their business. So I really don't know. But I will say this, for some people, I think it would be a blessing. You might want to get up out of here. It might seem like it's harsh for some people to go back to their homeland, but it might be best for you. You might end up having a better life going back. You might end up being protected. You might live longer if you go back home. That's how I look at it. This is my land. My great-grandparents, my grandparents and great-grandparents were not slaves. This is where we're from. This is our land. But what I do love about all of this, a lot of truth is coming out to where all people who look like me are not from Africa. A lot of our ancestors are not from Africa. A lot of us were already here. We were the originators on this land. But what they did was they switched it over to the $5 Indians. And a lot of people think that those are the only natives to this land. The ones with the bone straight, hair, and they look, they look Mexican or Ecuadorian. They look Asian almost. But yeah, I love that the truth is finally coming out about who are the real people of this land, and those people look like me, and that's the reason why they kept changing our name. First it was, Negro, right? And then it went to African American, or it went to colored. They had to keep changing the name because they had to keep washing out the true identity. They don't want Black Americans to know they were already here, right? I know that's another topic. We can get deep into that, but we're not going to get deep into that one. But click like on my chat for me, guys. You said B says, I feel bad. So many people are being taken. You are spot on with your words. You know what? It is very sad. I hope that all those families end up back together, whether they're here or whether they go back home. But I don't know. That spiritual download that I received was that some of them will live longer if they do go back home. If living is something that they want to do. Some people want to die, but yeah, I don't do shout outs on my channel. If you had sent me a donation, then I could have shouted you out, but nah, I don't be doing those shout outs. But yeah, I it's sad. I understand like refugees, that's different where there's war, or famine in their homeland. They cannot live there. That's completely different. But there are some countries that are stable, and it's just that they wouldn't make as much money or wouldn't have a lavish life as if they would if they were here. But some people, they don't realize that they would be safer if they went back home. They can't send us they can't send us back to Africa because they do not know where they don't know our tribe, so they cannot send us there. So we belong here. You feel me? Now, if an African family came here, they know where they're from. They can be sent back, right? But they cannot send Black Americans anywhere. This is our land. They can't send us back to Africa. Some of us our ancestors were not from Africa. We were from here. That's why they kept changing the Black Americans. Why do you think they did that? Because they don't want you to know the truth, because they stole the land from Black people, right? But yeah, I'm so happy. I'm sad, and I'm also happy that the truth is finally coming out. And it also explains the reason why a lot of other Black groups, ethnic groups, hate Black Americans. Because we're like cousins, distant cousins in a sense, but we're not the same, Black Americans actually did fight back on their land. But it was a 300, 400 year war, basically, where this other countries, Black countries that never fought back. So it's kind of like a jealousy almost. It's like an admiration and a jealousy, pretty much. People kind of look at Black Americans as like, oh, we're the rich cousins that we're privileged. We're not privileged. We fought back. They call us lazy, but we fought back, just like the Haitians fought back. But anyway, I don't want to get into history about that, but be careful with travel. I'm not trying to put fear into you. Do what you want to do. Yeah, my grandfather, my mother's father is Cuban. Yes. I haven't looked up any records of how he got here. But he wasn't a slave, and his parents wasn't a slave. I don't know how he ended up in America. I don't know that story. But my parents were born here in America. His father was born here, so I don't know how he had a Cuban mom and then had an American father. So I don't even know where he was conceived at, but he's Cuban, basically. But on my father's side, my grandmother, the one that left me this house I live in, she's Native. Her parents are Native, and we still have land in North Carolina. We still have an estate in North Carolina. So I know the records. I even have my grandmother's birth certificate, and her birth certificate says colored on it. So it's just really interesting. But I know a lot of my history, and I know that my great grandparents were not slaves. My grandparents were not slaves. So I just find that very interesting, basically, If my grandparents were alive today, my grandmother would be in her 90s because she died 10 years ago at 86. So she would be 96. And then of course, if her parents were still alive, they would be 100 and something. I think they had her very young. They had her like at, I think her parents had her like 16 or something like that, pretty much. So they'd be like 100 or something, right? 120 or something like that. But yeah, I'm thinking of looking into my records. I'm thinking of tracking down my records to find out more about my history. I don't want to do any blood work. I believe that there is some records. I have a cousin that looked up some records. And she found some things. I didn't ask her what she found, but she said she found some relatives by looking up records. So she found something on my mother's side. If she found my first cousin on my mom's side, she found records of our family through my grandfather's last name. And I believe his name was changed too, because he doesn't have a Cuban last name. So, or so to say, he doesn't have a Hispanic last name, so to say. So I wonder if he was adopted or something, So I'm going to look up my records. I'm going to try to find if I can look up my records without doing blood work, because I don't want these people to have my blood work. Is it possible I have secret siblings? That's a good question. Maybe for my father's side, but I don't think for my mother's side. I don't know. My mom was pretty secretive, but I don't think for my mom's side. Because my mom got married. My mom married her high school sweetheart. So that's who she lost her virginity to, was my brother's father. And then they were married by 18. And then they had my brother, I think, at like 19, 20. So she didn't give no kids up for adoption or anything like that. So definitely not for my mom's side. It's possible my dad was a Rolling Stone. He was a hoe. So it's very possible that he could have other children out there that I don't know about. It's possible, but I know it may sound crazy. I don't care to meet them. I know that sounds crazy. I do not care to meet. If my father has other children, I don't care to meet them. No, thank you. Because there is a girl out there that we were told that we were sisters. And I met her. I hung out with her when I was younger. And she ended up being completely jealous of me and hated me. And it was terrible. I couldn't really picture my dad. If my father really is her father, no, then I wouldn't want to meet anyone else, honestly, because her mother wouldn't get a DNA test. I'm willing for her and I to do a DNA test because I really want to know. I don't think that this girl is my blood sister, my half sister. We don't look nothing alike. We're nothing alike. Our personalities are nothing alike. It's just like, there's no way. I do want to reach out to her. I haven't seen her in like 10 years. I would like to reach out to her and ask, like, let's do a DNA test. Let's settle this. Okay. Let's settle this. Like, I really do want to settle this and find out, is this bitch really my blood sister? Because in my heart, she's not, basically. So, but yeah, if I have some siblings out there, I don't want to meet them. My parents had 2 kids. They lost a baby before they had me, a year before me. So I know I had another brother, but he died at birth. The umbilical cord wrapped around his neck and he died during delivery. So I just feel like always connected to the spirit of that baby, and that's it. But if that was his child, that woman I met who's an evil bitch, hell no. I'm good with being the only alive sibling to my parents, an alive child to my parents, basically. But yeah, I find that interesting. Yeah. But yeah, don't worry. They won't be sending me back to Cuba. I'm not from Cuba. I'm from here. My parents are from here. My grandparents and my great-grandparents were born here. So I'm not really worried about it. They wouldn't be sending me back to Cuba. Maybe if my mom was alive, they probably would send her back to, maybe they would try to send her to Cuba because her father was Cuban, but I ain't worried about it. Oh, God. But anyway, let's talk about these narc tactics. Don't forget to click like on the chat for me. Antonio says, you look like kinfolk. Really? Where you from? Where are you from? Normally when I meet people, um, native people say I look like them. Well, mostly black natives say I look like them. Dominicans say I look like them. Um, I never get mistaken for West Indian ever. It's either Afro Latina or Black American or Native, pretty much. But yeah, but yeah, let's talk about some of these narc tactics, manipulation tactics. I was thinking about this because I was thinking about this crazy experience I had not too long ago, believe it or not, sadly. And before 2025 had came in. And this guy I had this experience with, I was like, wow, this guy is a narc. You know, I was like, wow, this dude is a narc. And I had known him for a couple of years. I think we like met in like 2019, 2020. And I spoke about him before on my channel, but I was like, yo, I think this dude really is a narc. And one thing I realized about narcissists, if you're, or manipulator, so to say, if you're not strong, you're going to get played and you're not going to notice these things. And I also had a couple of people book with me in November and December, and I noticed that they had some of the same tactics and things ran on them too. And I found that very sad and interesting. And one of the things I noticed was always talking about other people, right? So to me, like if you meet somebody and they're always talking about an ex, they're always talking about like a female best friend or a male best friend, or they're always fixated on this one particular person, right? And it's funny because you like never meet this person. It's really interesting. They never bring you around this person. They could be a figure from their past. You never see a photo of this person, but they're constantly talking about this person. And it's almost as if they're obsessive with this person. And this gave me a glimpse into, wow, this narcissist is literally obsessed with the supply that got away. So when I met this guy, he kept fixating on his ex. So he dated a celebrity. She's like more like a C-list celebrity, but he dated this celebrity girl, but he was extremely obsessed, right? He was extremely, extremely obsessed with this chick. And anytime you're dealing with, anytime you're dealing with somebody romantically or even friendship wise, and they're obsessed with somebody, hey, LaJordan, how you been? Anytime you're dealing with someone or you have a friendship with someone and they're totally obsessed with this person, one second they're talking about them in a positive light, the next second they're wishing death on them, they're wishing sickness on them, they're talking all this victimhood. They're never telling you what they did in that relationship or that friendship or why it went down. They're leaving details out. This is a red flag, guys. Yes, exactly. Lucia, exactly. Yes. And it does. You have to understand. See, me, when men, like when I meet a man and he starts talking about his ex, I'd be like, you can't talk to me about women from your past. You can't talk to me about the women that you're sleeping with or you're dating while you're dating me, while you're courting me. Talk to your homeboys about that, your best friend, your mom. You're not talking to me about that. So a lot of times I stop men when they get to talking. Only once in a while I'll stop and I'll let them talk because I'm like, let me listen and see if this person's crazy. So sometimes it's okay to let them talk because you need to get information from them. But if they continue days and weeks and months talking about this ex, that's a red flag, guys, because how could somebody be interested in you or interested in building a friendship with you, but they keep talking about other people with you? That's a red flag. That's weird. What's going on here? And I noticed this was the red flag with this dude. It was just like constantly talking about this celebrity ex of his and like repeating things he's seen on her social media. And I was like, how you seeing her social media? I thought y'all broke up. She moved out. She moved on. How you seeing her social media? Oh, that means you got an account and you peep in her account. That means you're stalking her. He's like, huh? I said, stop looking at her shit then. Yeah, that's true. You right. They go into stalker mode. And through this dude, I kind of use him like a case study almost. I got to see how crazy narcs can really get when you actually escape a narc. They hate you. Their whole life goes downhill. They be losing their mind. There was days that this man would call me and it would be like late at night. And I'm like, hello? Like, why are you calling me? It's late. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, I can't believe like she left me. I can't believe she did this. I got to pay this rent by myself. I'm like, yo, why are you calling me, telling me this? I'm supposed to be the potential woman you're trying to get to know. Why are you talking to me about your ex? That tells me you don't like me. If you want to be friend zoned, no problem. But in my mind, I was like, no man's going to talk to another woman he's trying to get to know in a romantic tone about their ex. And this is what narcs do. So I remember having a conversation with a female friend and she was like, does that make you insecure? I was like, no, it makes me worried because I'm seeing how this man is spiraling out of control. I don't know this woman. I don't know who she is. I don't even know her coochie stink. Why would I be jealous of her? Why would I feel inferior to her? But I'm letting you know now, that's exactly what happens to most people. If you meet someone that you're interested in and all they keep talking about is other people or their ex, if you're a person who has low self-esteem or insecurities, you're going to go into what? You're going to go into competition mode. The infamous triangulation that narcs use, that manipulators use, okay? Hey, Charles. Hey, Elizabeth. Well, Elizabeth, you can be thinking that a person is courting you. There's people who be courting somebody and seeing other people. It happens all the time. You think that you're being courted to be in a relationship with that person. You think that you're getting serious with that person, but this is a narc you're talking about. This is not an average, everyday, healthy, emotional, intelligent man or woman, you know? So that was a huge red flag. So that's a huge, that is a huge tactic that manipulators use, is always talking about somebody, showing you pictures of people, talking about what this person did and how they made them feel. And it's like every conversation. Oh, but me, as soon as I started talking about my ex, as soon as I started talking about men who were attracted to me and different type of experiences, he had his face scrunched up. He was pissed. You think a man that's attracted to you wants to hear that? I said, what are you talking about? I don't want to hear about men who are attracted to you. I said, what are you talking about? You talk about your ex all the fucking time. So I'm supposed to listen to all your stories about your ex? But now you've opened that door for that. That made me feel like, hey, we homies. We could talk about people who we've been with or who we're pursuing or dealing with. I thought that's the type of friendship we had. oh, okay, then I'll stop then. So you see, narcs do that. They like to control the conversation, right? They can talk about other people, but you can't. So if you're dealing with people who are always trying to silence you, there's another thing too with this person. He used to try to silence when I was talking about something. In the middle of me talking, he'd be like, I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. Who are you talking to? I'm not a child. I'm not a pet. I'm not a dog that you say to. Who are you talking to? So anytime you're talking to somebody and they keep interrupting your conversations, trying to control the conversation, they want to be the one to say whatever they want to say, but they're stopping you. That's not normal conversation. You should be able to speak freely. You're going to feel like you're talking like you're walking on glass when you're talking to these people. Anytime you're like, oh, I don't know, should I say that to him? Should I say that to her? I'm not really sure. Like, exactly, Charles. I'm not really sure if I can say this to that person. That lets you know that that person has trained you for you to be silent, but they can speak. And that's how narcs want you. They put their little whip out, their little chain out on you. You listen and I talk. That's how the narcs work. That's how manipulators work. And, there was moments where I was just like, I don't want to say that to him because he'll just like fly off the handle. This is like before I even realized that he was a narc. I just felt like, oh, he's a Sagittarius, and that's just how Sagittarius are. And I was just like, this is beyond Sag. I was like, this is beyond being a Sagittarius. This motherfucker is off the rocker in the head. That was something I noticed. What are you doing? I'm sorry, love. You got to be 18 and over to be in here. 18 and over. But yeah, I had to get rid of. It's youngins are coming up in here. So that was another red flag, was when you have to feel like you're speaking on pins and needles and glass and rocks to someone. That's not a good connection with that person. You should feel like I could be myself with this person, right? Another red flag is people who have this punishment system, right? So this was something else I noticed about this weirdo ass narc that I had came across. He always had this punishment system. So if he didn't get his way with me, he would like ignore my texts, right? Ignore my calls. Don't talk to me for a few weeks or a few months, right? That's the narc going into silent treatment on you. You did something or said something that they didn't like. So now the punishment for you is a silent treatment. And at first I didn't really realize he was silent treatment me because I wasn't really, I don't know. I won't say I really wasn't into him like that. I live in New York and he lives in another state. So I really didn't notice that that's what he was doing. I really didn't realize it, and I noticed that he would watch me through my TikTok, but I was like, oh, wow, we haven't spoken in a few weeks. So, wow, we haven't spoken in a few months, pretty much. And I started to realize it was so strange when he did start talking to me again. He kept messaging me through TikTok. And I was like, why are you messaging me through TikTok? When you have my phone number, it's just weird. He would do stuff like that. And so I had this experience with him not too long ago where he came into town and he was staying. I knew he was coming into town. He hit me up a few days before he was coming into town. I was like, hey, I'm going to be in town. I would like to see you this weekend. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll see you this weekend. And he came into town And I text him the day that he landed in New York, right? So he lands in New York, and I just text him to say, hey, like, how are you? Did you have a safe flight? That's just the type of person I am. And the next thing I know, he starts calling my phone. So I was hanging out, but I was on my way home, and it was pretty late. Not late, but it was kind of late. So I answered the phone, and I'm like, hey, what's up? How's your day going? He's like, oh, my day's going good. I went to go see some family members, and now I'm back at my mom's house, and I'm walking her dog. So I say, okay, cool. And we talked for a couple of minutes, and then I could hear him walking into his mom's house. As he's walking into his mom's house, that's when I hear his mom like cursing him out. She's just like, why did you throw my motherfucking dog? Don't throw my dog. And I'm like listening, like, huh? Like he threw her dog. Like, what's going on? So you know how like people have those partitions in their home so that their dog or their children can't get into certain rooms. So basically, he, instead of like walking over the partition, he took her dog and let the dog over the partition, basically like drop the dog over there so the dog can go by itself. And his mom didn't like that. She wanted him to walk over and then gently put her dog down, basically. So she's cursing him out, and he doesn't hang up the phone. So I'm listening to the whole argument. And in the argument, he's like, I'm 35 years old. Don't talk to me like that. I'm grown. I have a degree. I have a car. I have an apartment. Like, he's just saying all this stuff. And I'm just like, to me, that was very narky. Like, what does all of that have to do with like how your mom is talking to you? Like, none of your material things have anything to do with her talking to you crazy. You're a grown-ass man. You're her son. She should not be talking to you like that, right? So thank you, Joy. Appreciate the love. So I'm just like eavesdropping. I'm like, I gotta listen to this argument, right? Exactly, Charles. So he's like, I'm grown. I got this, I got that. He's just like naming all this stuff that he has that makes him grown and why his mom shouldn't be talking to him like that. So she does like calm down. I can hear her like getting like calming down and being silent. She's not cursing at him anymore. And then I guess she's just like, okay, whatever. And she leaves the room. But now I guess he's embarrassed because I'm on the phone and I heard the whole argument. So I guess like now he has like something to prove. So he hangs up the phone and then he calls me back. I text him and say, hey, when y'all finish that conversation, call me back. I'm on the bus on my way home. So I get home and it's really late. It's like 11 o'clock. That's kind of late. So I get home and then he calls me. By the time I get home, he calls me and he's like, hey, I don't want to be here. So I'm like, you don't want to be where? He's like, I don't want to be at my mom's house. And I'm like, oh, okay, so what you about to do? Like, it wasn't clicking to me. I was just like, why is this man telling me, hey, Libra son? I was like, why is this man telling me he does not want to be at his mama's house? So he's like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I need to teach her a lesson. I need to get the hell out of this house. I need her to understand that I don't have to be here. She's lucky that I'm even here. I'm supposed to be staying in New York for a whole week. She's been mistreating me all day. Like he's just going on and on and on. Thank you for the compliment, LaJordan. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not understanding. What is your point? So then he says, I want to know, can I stay at your house tonight? And I'm like, my house? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I did not plan to have company. My house is a mess. I really did not plan for you to come over here. Plus, like, my cycle is ending. I'm a woman. I still bleed, okay? I'm like, my cycle is ending. I just want to take a shower, relax, and go to sleep. I really was not planning to have no male company. He's like, I don't want to be here. I can't believe this. She's like, she started since she picked me up from the airport and how she was cursing at him from the time she picked him up at JFK. How when she was trying to find him at the airport that morning, she called him, cursing him out, like, where the F are you? I can't find you. Where are you? Like, so she was disrespecting him. So I'm just like, his mother is most likely a narcissist, and he's a narc as well. And I've seen this dynamic before with my father, which is crazy because my father was a Sagittarius as well. And I've seen this dynamic where the mother and son argue like they husband and wife. Okay, that's basically what it was given. And I said, listen, I don't think you should leave. I think that you should stay. You have your own room at your mom's house. Just stay, cool off, take a shower, smoke a blunt, relax. And then in the morning, you and her can talk it over. No, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And then he goes, you must not really like me. And I go, what the fuck does that have to do with you coming to my house? What are you talking about? So right there, I'm going to pause this story. Right there, that was the whole scenario was narcissistic, right? Narcissists, manipulators will make their problems your problem. What the hell did him getting into an argument with his mom have to do with me? Why is that? Why is it my problem now that you need to be housed? Why is it now you trying to manipulate me into allowing you to stay at my house? And see, this coercion shit, what manipulators and narcissists will do when he goes, when he realized he wasn't really getting his way with me, he was like, oh, you must not like me. And this works on certain people. You know, I cursed him out for it. I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That has nothing, me liking you has nothing to do with me. With me allowing you to come into my house. I told you I have my cycle. I don't want no male bullshit. And I said to him, listen, if you're going to come over here, don't come over here with no bullshit. I had a great day. I'm peaceful. I went out to dinner. I made some money today. Do not piss me off. Don't come to my house on no sexual bullshit. Don't come over here with no demands. When you get here, take your ass to sleep. I don't want to cater to your bullshit, right? Hey, Plan C's. Exactly. And that's another thing. I don't allow people to just come up in my house. I'm going to be real with you. I don't. There's some friends that do not even know where I live, right? So I felt bad for this individual, and I allowed him to come over, guys. I really did. I allowed him to come over. He was all the way in Long Island. So he traveled. He didn't have his rental car. So he had to take the Long Island Railroad and then take an Uber to get to my house, right? And I was just like, this is ridiculous. So in my mind, I'm like, wow, he really is trying to teach his mother a lesson. And that is something that individuals like this will do. They're trying to teach you a lesson. So you're going to spend, I'm going to say on travel, he probably spent $70. So you spent $70 to come to my house and to get back to Long Island for what? Because you wanted to teach your mother a lesson? Which she probably didn't even care. She probably was happy when she heard that door slam. I know I would have been if his ass got out of my house. So I found that very interesting that he was in this trying to teach her a lesson, you know? I mean, I did put up boundaries, but I still was kind and let him come to my house. So he gets to my house and I'm already showered, ready for bed by the time, because I think he didn't get to my house till like maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, because it took a while. So when he gets to my house, we're chilling, we're watching a movie, conversating, we're catching up. Everything's cool. Everything is cool. Then as it's getting later, he, of course, tries to seduce me. And I'm like, I told you, don't come to my house on this sexual bullshit, right? I already told you I'm on my cycle. Don't touch me. I'm not one of those finked out women. I mean, if that's your thing, ladies, if y'all be intimate on your cycle, that's your business. All right. All right, you're out of here, Tyrone. Goodbye. So I told him, I said, listen, you're not my man. We're not like that. And keep in mind, I've never slept with this person. All right. We've kissed before, but I've never slept with this individual. And I said, listen, I told you don't come over here. I allowed you to come over here to get out of your mother's house because y'all had a heated argument. You were cursing at her, she was cursing at you. And I know how it is to be in an argument with somebody and you're in that same space with them. So that's why I am me and you are you. That's right. Thank you. Hello, how you doing? So I allowed him to come over to give him that comfort, right? So, of course, I reject him sexually. And yo, the coercion was real, guys. All right. When he did this, I said, yeah, this guy's a narc. It was like stamped. As soon as I said to him, like, don't touch me, get off me, go to sleep. He basically got upset, right? He got upset and was just like, oh, you're rejecting me. You see, I told you you really don't like me. I was like, what are you talking about? I felt like I was talking to a teenage boy. And you're going to feel that when you're dealing with these narcissists. You're going to feel like you're talking to a teenage girl or you're talking to a teenage boy. And that's exactly what it felt like. And I was just like, I was like, yo, go to sleep. What are you talking about? And first of all, he done took his clothes off and everything, guys. I was like, yo, put your clothes back on. Nothing's going down tonight. I told you this before you came over here. I told you don't come over here and do sexual bullshit. I'm not a finked out woman who's trying to have, intercourse on her cycle. I don't get down like that. Okay? Go to sleep, pretty much. Then he starts going into like, oh, I didn't even get none for my birthday. I don't give a shit about your birthday. What does my body have to do with the fact that you didn't get ass on your birthday? That has nothing to do with me. I'm not your wife. I'm not your woman. What are you talking about? So it's sad because a lot of women, a lot of men have been in situations with narcissists or manipulators where they were coerced into sex. It gets that deep. All right. There are some women who would have had intercourse with this man on her cycle, even though she didn't want to. Some people are that weak and they don't have boundaries and they don't have self-love that when they're in a situation with a narc or a manipulator like this, a predator, they will feel like, oh man, they will feel bad. Even younger people who haven't been in situations, they don't know what to do in a situation like this. But I'm letting you know, anytime you're in a situation, no. You said no the first time, say no the second time, say no the third time. The answer is fucking no. Okay? Don't let people coerce you into being intimate with them. Them not having their sexual needs met have nothing to do with you. Okay? No. And I didn't feel like scared or anything like he was going to try to grape me or fight me or anything. I didn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So in worst cases, you will have to fight, but no means no. And with these narcs, they cannot stand to hear no. I am me says they disgust me so much. Plan C says, I'm good, girl. Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to try and catch up. It's okay. Plan C, that's usually what you're dealing with because that's where their trauma or abuse was, what they haven't even looked at or healed. Yes, definitely. Maybe he had some sexual trauma happen to him. Maybe something was, done to him. I'm not really sure, I am me. One way you're dealing with a selfish narc is when they don't give a damn about your pleasure. Yep. Ding, ding, dong. and he had that written all over him. He did not care at all. It was just like even one point, like he got up and was like walking towards his coat. And I said, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to go get a condom. And I said, for what? I said, are you insane? I said, you're getting a condom for what? Who are you about to sleep with? You're not sleeping with me. There must be somebody else in the room because you're not fucking me tonight. What are you talking about? What are you doing? Go sit down somewhere. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And eventually he was like, fine, guess you're not effing with me tonight. I'm going to sleep. Yeah, go to sleep because you're bugging. Hey, Paradigm, because you're bugging. You're not fucking me tonight. And I ain't scared because I got punes up in my closet. I have a knife under my bed. I ain't scared of no man. Okay? I ain't scared of no man. Yeah, I know. I had to tell y'all this trauma story, but there was just so many red flags with this dude, you know? And the reason why I didn't see these red flags with him when he did live in New York is because we really didn't spend time together when he lived in New York. Our friendship was mostly on the phone and through social media. And sometimes you don't see certain things. And, you know, I was seeing someone else when he lived in New York. So I wasn't paying attention to these red flags, you know? But anyway, he stayed at my house until maybe 7:30 the next morning. And then he like kind of jumped out of bed and was like, he ran to his coat and was like, oh my God, I didn't bring my phone charger. My phone's going to die. Do you have an iPhone charger? And I said, no, I have an Android. I tried to look for an iPhone charger, could not find it. I guess the last person who was at my house with an iPhone stole my iPhone charger. So he was like, shit. So he orders an Uber, gets dressed, and like runs out my house. And that's how I got rid of him, guys. But I still stayed up until like 8 o'clock in the morning to make sure he made it on the Long Island Railroad. He said yes. The Uber driver had a charger and I was able to make it onto the Long Island Railroad. I'm good, thanks. And he had this attitude, you know, and like maybe 2 days went by and didn't really hear from him. And I said, you know what? I'm going to text him. And he didn't respond to me. So I said, oh, so now he's trying to do this silent treatment, punishment shit again. And I blocked him on everything. All right. So 4-5 years of knowing this individual, I blocked him on everything. I blocked him on TikTok, on Instagram, in his phone. I was like, I'm done. You're not going to punish me because you couldn't get ass from me. You know, that is the immature, narcissistic boy, narcissistic woman. They love to try to coerce you into sex. They don't care about your pleasure. I mean, like, I was just like in total shock. Like, dude, you're reaching for a condom. For what? Where you going with that? No kind of foreplay, nothing. Just like I'm just gonna let you just go up in me with no kind of foreplay. After I told you I have my cycle and nothing's going down. Like, you know, but this is how the narcs are. Like you said, they don't care about your safety. They don't care about your pleasure. They don't care about you at all. As long as they get their nut, as long as they get what they want, their supply from you, that's all they care about. Jordan, you're going to have to go to the beginning of the video. I talked about the plane crashes already, love. Oh, wow. Venus says, what a kind friend you were. Patient, tolerant, all for nothing, huh? Libra Sun says, I need gas money, the fuck? Oh, God. Yeah, I talked about that in the beginning. Period. Libra Sun says, period. I just had to do this to a nigga yesterday. Did the same. That chick said, did the same. Changed my number. Libra Sun, nope. The cycle thing is a hard no. Don't need those type of ties. Exactly. I'm a spiritualist, and this is what's crazy. He knows that. I said so some of you don't know this, but when you are intimate, when a woman is intimate with a man on her cycle, it's a ritual, guys. It's a binding tool. You know how, like, when people cut their finger and they're like, we're blood brothers, you know, you just made like a blood tie. Or, you know, like people do rituals and they sign their name on a contract and they cut their finger and they sign their name in blood. That is a soul contract. When you are intimate with a man or a woman and you don't want to be binded to that person, y'all want to be freaky and y'all want to be intimate on your cycle, or intimate with her on her cycle and going downtown and doing all kind of crazy stuff with that blood. Blood is a binding element, okay? So then you wonder why that person is going crazy, because you made a soul tie with that person through blood. Okay, so if you that damn crazy and you really trying to keep a man, then go ahead and be intimate with him on your cycle. All right, and see what happens. And I have did this before in the past, and those men went crazy. One was throwing rocks outside my house looking for me. You gotta be very, because you don't know. A lot of times, if you deal with the wrong person, you don't know how mentally off they are. I'm telling you, if I would have been intimate with that man that night, he would have lost his damn rockers because he was already crazy. He's a narc. He's already crazy already. If I would have had that soul tie with him, he would have been stalking my ass too. Okay, so please be careful, guys, with what y'all do with intimacy. Venus Rose, classic narc. Yep. Libra Sun, period. Venus Rose, he was existing in a separate plane of reality from you practically. Exactly. I am me. And they will slander you and act like as if you are the one who ruined their life. Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing when it came to his ex-girlfriend, trying to make it seem like she was just this horrible person that left him. She was horrible for leaving him. But I noticed he never gave me the details. He never would give me details. He would just say she's horrible. And I'll say, well, what happened? What did she do that was so horrible? He could never answer. He would change the subject. And I'll say, well, what did you do? I didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. Everyone does something in their relationship. No one is perfect. You did something to annoy your ex-lover. You didn't do something. You didn't appreciate something. We all done something in a relationship. So it's bullshit. It's bullshit. So that's how you know you're dealing with a narc. Okay. That chick says, that's really scary though. Glad you're okay. Thank you. I wasn't scared. I was annoyed and I felt disrespected because I had a talk with him and I said, listen, you know what kind of woman I am. You know I'm a spiritual woman. You watch me on TikTok. You think the videos that I do are fake? You think who I am in those videos is fake? You think I preach this shit and I don't live this shit? You think I would sit there and tell people, be careful who you sleep with, don't do this, don't do that, and then turn around and do that? No. Usually, 90% of what I say in these videos, that's who I really truly am in person. That's who I am. I don't sit on here telling you to don't do things or do things and I'm not living that life. You know, so but here that see, and that's another thing that narc does. Your boundaries, your values and your morals, they don't care about that. He could not get me to let down my boundaries, let down my morals, let down my values. And now he had a narcissistic injury. Okay. Then his breath was kicking. I was like, wait a minute, what? And I'm going to be real with you guys. This guy is very attractive. Okay. He's very attractive, handsome face, nice body. He's packing and all of that. Right. And I was cracking up because I had told one of my supporters, I told her the story and she was like, girl, I would have gave in. No, I told him straight up. I was like, your breath stinks. I told him. Like, to me, I feel like this. If you're going to go see a man, you're going to go see a woman, you need to be on point. I gave him a breath mint because I didn't have no mouthwash. I usually have like a pack of extra toothbrushes, but I didn't have any at the time. I think I went through all of them. I'm weirdo. Like, I change my toothbrushes like once a month or every other week. I have this thing with my teeth. It's like, they tell you to keep your toothbrush for 3 months. I think that is just so nasty. So I usually change my toothbrush like twice a month. I usually have like packs of toothbrushes and I didn't have any more. But anyway, so I ended up giving him some mints. Like, how are you trying to get some and your breath stink? Huh? Like, get out of here. Like, his body didn't stink, but his breath was kicking. It was just a hot mess, guys. Like, narcs will try to give you the most dustiest, crustiest penis and the most dustiest, crustiest vagina. Like, their hygiene be off sometimes. Like, they're selfish sexually, romantically, and it's just like, ill. You have got to have low self-esteem to think that narc sex is good. It's not. It lacks emotion. It lacks consideration. It's abusive. It's just nasty. When you really heal and you grow as a person, looking back, you're going to realize, oh, the narc sex wasn't that great. When I think back to the narcs I slept with, I'm like so ashamed because they were so selfish. Maybe the physical sometimes felt good, but there's a lack of emotions because their soul is dead. How did you feel good sleeping with them? There's no way. Yes, they have sexual demons connected to them that might know your body, but the lack of emotion and connection is never there, guys. Narcs cannot fake souls. They cannot fake emotions. So how are you being intimate and you think sex without emotion feels good? Answer that for me. It don't make no type of sense. Poetic justice, look. Thank you. I love that movie. I Am Me says, you're absolutely right. And I've noticed they are impatient during sex too. Yep, it's all about them. It's horrible. It's just, oh my gosh. It's, when I think back to a lot of them that I have been with, it was just so abusive. It's abusive. And they do not care. They don't care. You could be like, oh, it hurts. Can you slow down? And they'll go faster. I'm telling you, it is crazy. It is that crazy. With narcs, I remember like going home with bruises on me. Some of you are like that. They are like getting beat up in the bedroom. I ain't trying to go home with scratches and bruises and cuts and stuff. It has gotten that bad. I need to do a video about that. There was times that I had been with narcs and I went home bleeding. I went home with cuts. I went home with bruises. And not because I wanted to. That's how crazy it has got. Oh my God, get out of here. Actually, I don't live in anybody's basement. I live in my own house that's paid off. Fuck out of here. Oh, these trolls are hilarious. I Am Me says, it makes you feel cheap. Yup, you feel dirty afterwards. Plant Seed says, let's be honest. The vibration feelings of your mouth afterwards is like no other. And then I don't add to the landfill with 52 brushes because I was doing that as well. Oh, okay. I mean, I hear you. Don't they have toothbrushes that are like made out of like more natural products, I guess? But yeah, I can't. I just can't. I can't use one toothbrush for 3 months. Can't do it. I just can't do it. I have to change my toothbrush twice a month. Basically. He says some warrior. I see the funniest like comments on here. Plan C says we have to forgive them and forgive ourselves to set the whole situation free and cut the cords and heal. Yeah, that's very, very true. Very true. I don't think there's any narcissists that like I'm holding on to. And this was pretty recent. I mean, I don't really have any like negative feelings towards this individual. Um, I wish him the best. I really honestly do not think that he knows that he's a narc. I don't think so. There's some narcs. I've had conversations with some narcs where they actually admitted to me like there's something different about me. So there's some of them that they don't think they're narcs, but they notice the difference. Like I've had narcs say to me, like, I noticed that when people die, they cry, but I can't cry. Like there's some narcs who know, like they know they off, but they don't realize like there's something spiritually wrong with them. This guy, he does not realize there's something wrong with him. I don't think so. He think like the way he talks, he's always like, women are dumb, but you're not dumb though. Women are dumb. People are dumb. People don't see how great I am. He thinks because he has a college degree and he works for the NBA and he's handsome and he's packing, he thinks like he has that grandiose, like really thinks that he's all that. But he keeps getting rejected by all kinds of women. Asian women, white women, fat women, skinny women, Black women, Spanish women. He gets rejected by so many women. And then he's just like, oh, women just don't want a good man. And I said to him one day, like, okay, so you're all these things and you keep getting rejected. Why do you think that is? Oh, because women are just stupid. They don't know, like, they don't realize how great of a catch I am. And I'm like, he doesn't realize it's you, it's your character, it's your personality, it's how you move. If you're a Black man who's educated, works for the NBA, kind of tall, fit, and well endowed, no children, and not a whole bunch of debt, and you still can't keep a woman, no matter what her background is, no matter how attractive she is, when do you stop and go, you know what? It might be me. It might be me. And a lot of narcissists are not capable of like seeing that. They can be like the catch in the matrix, but they don't see like, damn, there might be something wrong with me to why everyone keeps leaving me, right? You were talking about the toothbrushes. Yeah, I thought I was talking about the toothbrushes too. And I was saying that I'm gonna keep using different toothbrushes. Venus Rose, whole different value set. I'm me. Yep. My ex always called women broads and whores. And I felt like I had to pay the price for how his exes or women who rejected him treated him. Venus Rose, self-awareness is a big deal. It sure is. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour and 18 minutes. I need financial blessings. If you can do that, hit up my Cash App, my Zelle, or my PayPal. My Cash App is $the light777. My Zelle and PayPal is neoangie3000@yahoo.com. I'll put that in the comment section when I get out the chat, when I get off the live. And if you want to find it now, it is in all my videos in the comment section of all my videos. I forgot to put it in the description bar. But yeah, if you love what I've been talking about so far, bless a sister. Okay. For those of y'all who didn't hear in the beginning of the video, I was telling people how I got scammed. What time is it now? what, February 1st. Now it's February 2nd. I got scammed. They took $300 out of my account. So sending me a financial blessing will really help me out right now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you. But yeah, so yes, that was a story about that guy. He had so many different red flags, and I was just like, this guy's a narc, and they're unable, a lot of them are unable to see who they truly are, and it's sad because this guy, very talented. He's an artist, beautiful paintings, a great artist, but just unstable in the head, unstable spiritually and unstable in the head. And it's going to show, and he doesn't get it. He gets fired from jobs. He was working for Apple at one point. I'm like, what happened at Apple? What did you do to Apple? How did you get fired from Apple? So a lot of them, they don't realize it's them, it's their character. Then he was dating a girl and they get into a car accident. So narcs are just bad fucking luck. They're bad luck. And you'll see that, they're spiraling in their life. You'll see all these bad things happening. And it's all because of their energy. Narcs, definitely because of how they treat people and what they've done to people, these bad things happen. And I'm going to look at it like this. I feel like him and I not connecting really showed me like how spiritually protected I was, because there was a girl that he dated, and during the hiatus of him like trying to teach me a lesson by like silent treatment me, using the silent treatment on me, he ended up dating this girl for a little bit, and then like they get into a car accident together. So a lot of times when you deal with a narc, your life goes downhill. You take on their karma and energy. You have no business dating them. And then now, you basically take on their karma, So a part of me feels like if I did sleep with him, before, or I did, because there was many opportunities when he lived in New York. He'd be like, oh, he had his own place when he was in New York. Come over my house, like, let's chill. I'll paint a portrait of you. And it was so many times I could have went to his home and, did the grown folk business. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good. I like how like our friendship is now. So a lot of times you sleep with people, you're like, damn, why is so many bad things happen to me? You literally take on their karma, you take on their energy. So be happy sometimes that you don't end up connecting with someone, even if you're physically attracted to them. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was still physically attracted to him, but my spirit was like, hell no, we don't like him. All right. The ancestors was like, we don't like him, So a lot of times you're spiritually protected and you may not end up dealing with that person, dating them, sleeping with them, because you're spiritually protected. Oh my God. Here we go. Let me get you out of here. These trolls are crazy. These trolls are crazy. These trolls are crazy. Venus says, great story to give example of that behavior. Is hard to get through, hard to communicate, hard to support. They aren't much open for it. Exactly. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. And it's sad because I really think like this person is going to go the rest of his life. He's already 35. And I feel like he's going to go the rest of his life not realizing he's the problem. And a lot of narcs are like that. They die like this. My grandma was a narc. She died 86 years old. And she died not realizing, like, you're the problem. It's you. It's not everybody else, And this guy was just so delusional. There were so many times we had conversations where he's like, if I was a woman, I would pick me. I would choose me, and I'm just like, why? What is so great about you? What is so great? Nothing really. And he was cheap. Who, like, you know, I just can't. I just can't. You know, and you cheap. I mean, I've in the past I've had narcs spend money on me. And it was just like, you're in 2024 at the time, 2024, because he's been done. He didn't come into 2025 with me. So it's 2024, and you basically, you're being cheap, and you over 35, and you have a job, brother, get out of here. You know, you really gotta listen. If they're not investing in you, if they're not taking you on proper dates, just walk away. Walk away, ladies. Walk away. It's a waste. It is a waste. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you. It's just a waste, you know? Hey, Tiana. How are you? So, yeah, I just really wanted to tell y'all that story. I found that to be so crazy, having to deal with that guy. And it was to me, it was a waste. And it's so crazy how I knew him for like a good 4 or 5 years now. I think so, like at least 5 years, almost 5 years it would have been. I think we met like in like 2019. So it's just like, what was the sense of building up, talking, building that kind of friendship, hanging out, only for him to just show his narc tendencies? And sometimes it takes time, guys, because if you're apart from somebody and you're not spending a lot of quality time with them, you're not going to see a lot of their behaviors. You're just not going to see it, you know? And if you don't become really close and intimate with them, you're just not going to see it. But look out for that tactic where you feel like a person is trying to punish you. That was like his number one thing, like just trying to punish me all the time. And it was like I said, I didn't really notice it until like now. Oh, that's what he was doing. He thought like using silent treatment on me bothered me. I didn't even notice that's what he was doing because I just didn't give a fuck. You know, like, you're not my man. Why would I care if you're not talking to me? You know, it was just so weird. And it made sense that after a while, a couple of weeks or a couple of months, he would just like start literally clicking like on my social media, because that was his way of like trying to get back into my view again. Because he probably was like, I ignored her. She didn't even notice. She didn't even really care. Let me see if I can be like, hey, I'm still here. You know, and that's what the narc will do. You gave them a narcissistic injury, and now they want you to pay. And most of the time is you just reacted to their behavior. You didn't go and harm them or hurt them. And they have so many insecurities that you're unaware of. Like when I had a narc best friend, there was times he disappeared for weeks and would not answer me. And I had no idea. And when we did start talking, he never told me what I said and what I did. He never communicated to me. He would just like, don't worry about it. No, talk to me. Tell me what happened. Why didn't you talk to me for 3 weeks? Don't worry about it. What? Tell me. They're children, guys. They're going around trying to punish you, and you have absolutely no idea what you said or what you did. Okay? It's like dating a kid. It's dating a kid. It's annoying. Oh, thank you so much for the compliments. No, I'm not really having a good weekend. Somebody stole $300 from my account and I can't get it back. But you know what? I still have to look at myself as being blessed because I have shelter, you know, I'm alive and clothes on my back. And, you know, there's people out there who have nothing, you know. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Somebody scammed me. I told the story in the beginning of the video. When you go to like the store, I really haven't tracked it down. I'm going to call them on Monday again. But I did report my card stolen, and they're going to send me a new card in the mail next week. But I haven't tracked how they got my information. How did they get my PIN number? I don't know how they did that. And the last store that I used that particular card in was Target. And even on the things, it tells you, like, be careful, because they having scamming issues where people are putting those fake, I guess, what is it called? The PIN pad, basically, where you do your transaction at. I don't know what those things are called. And I guess they had a fake one on there. But normally when I go up there, I usually pull on it, right? I usually pull on it. And I actually went back. I was in Target earlier today, and I told the guy, because the guy saw me like pulling on the thing, and he was like, "You good?" I was just like, "No, I'm not good. I got fucking scammed here this week." And he was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah, it's been happening a lot. Like, be careful." So when I used my other card today, I hit credit instead of putting my PIN number in, because now I'm paranoid. Or I'm going to have to use cash. I'm freaking paranoid now, because they took my $300 pretty much. You from San Antonio, Texas? How you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna call again on Monday. I'm pissed off, but for right now, they're not gonna reimburse me the money. But I did already report the card stolen, and they're gonna send me a new card, and I'll have a new PIN number or whatever. So it's a mess. It's crazy, pretty much. I never had this happen to me. I got scammed 2 years ago, but that was a different type of form of scamming. Like, I helped someone and I put their paycheck, and it was a fake check, and that happened in my Chase account, and they gave me the money back. They cleared it, basically. The check didn't clear, so they let that, that was fine. But with this case, for some reason, they're not trying to give me back my money. Yeah. But I'm gonna call on Monday and see if I could talk to them again. But as for right now, I'm not getting that money back, pretty much. And it was so crazy, because I called, like, to see, like, if that deposit, I had like a deposit going into that account, and I was like, "Oh, let me check." I got up mad early. I checked, and 7 o'clock in the morning, my account was a zero. I said, "When the fuck did they take the money out? 3 in the morning? Like, what time?" I called at 7. What time did they start taking that damn money out? And then when I checked, it said, "Oh, $40 purchase, $100 purchase." I was like, "Oh shit!" They did 4 transactions and took all the fucking money out the account. And I'm like, I did not spend a dime today. How am I gonna spend a dime? It's 7 a.m. What? How did I spend a dime when it's crazy. Just be careful, guys, with scamming, because some of your banks or whatever card you have or company you use, they might not reimburse your money depending on the situation. You might not get that money back. So be careful. Use cash sometimes. Change your password. I went online, changed my password. I'm going to get a new card or whatever the case is. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to see, but I'm going to call back on Monday. But when I spoke to them, this particular company is different. It's not like a regular bank. So it's not like Chase or Citibank or something like that. It's through another company. So that's why I'm not able to get it. And they have certain policies, a different policy. Like, when I had this issue happen with Chase gave me back the money pretty much. But every company is different, and every case is different too. And I've seen other people too, it happened to them where they could not get the money back, pretty much. It depends on the case. But I am going to call them back on Monday and see what they can do. Or at least, can I get half the money back or something like that? This shit is crazy. I was like, yo, I was like, January whooped my ass. I had something horrific happen to me in January, and my mind has been on that. And then I wake up on February 1st to this bullshit. Like, are you kidding me? And y'all know how expensive toiletries, groceries are right now. And y'all know I have not been working a 9 to 5 since June. All right. So I cannot afford to have money stolen from me. Like, this is my only job right now. I do have some job interviews coming up this week. So hopefully I will be hired this week. So, I don't have to worry about being in situations like this. Pretty much. But y'all be careful, man, because it's rough out there and people are going to be stealing more, scamming more, so just be careful. And sometimes you're not going to always get that money back. And I know it's a lot of companies are changing their policy. They're changing their policy. They're going to make it hard. I'm telling you. So just be careful, guys. Just be careful. But what else did I want to talk about? I think I talked about the certain tactics. Oh yeah. Something else that boils my blood. This is a tactic that manipulators use, right? I think I might have talked about this before. But people who I think I talked about it in a short video, but there are going to be some people who try to be nosy with you. Like so they want to know your business, right? So you might be a private person, or you don't feel comfortable telling them your business. So what they'll do is they'll try to bully you into telling them your business. Don't fall for this, right? So this actually happened to me recently. This particular person, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we cool, right? You said, oh yeah, different protection policy. Wish all goes well and your funds will be back ASAP. Thank you, Venus. Appreciate it. I hope so too, because I cannot afford to lose $300. That's my money for my groceries and transportation and toiletries for the month. And yeah, I need that money. But yeah, so this is something that happens to me a lot because I'm a pretty private person, believe it or not. I tell y'all a lot of my business, but there's a lot of things that happen in my life that I do not share. Sometimes I share things online that I haven't even told my friends, right? So there'll be people who they want to know your business, right? And one thing about me is that I never ask people things that I know. I don't like people to ask me things that I don't ask them, right? And this could be a boundary. Everyone is not into telling certain things, like personal business. Like, let's see, like, what is your blood type? How much money do you make? When's the last time you had sex? When's your next vacation? Things that happened to you in your childhood. You don't have to share these very personal details with people, especially if you just met them, right? So this woman who we are, I guess you could say, cool, developing a friendship. I noticed that she started to say like little digs, pretty much. I wouldn't say she's a manipulator, but I noticed that she started to say like little digs at me. And I was just like, what's that about? Like, that's strange, because I don't really consider her to be a toxic person. I think that some people, they're just nosy as fuck and they want to know your business, right? So one day we were talking and she said, hey, can you talk? And I said, no, I'm not home. I'm hustling, right? Did I say I'm not home? No, I didn't say I'm not home. I said I'm hustling, right? So hustling is a term when you are making money or you're working. I mean, everyone knows the term hustling. You could be at your 9 to 5 and say, hey, can't talk right now, I'm hustling. You could be on the corner selling hot dogs. Hey, I'm hustling, can't talk right now. So I basically said to this woman, I said, hey, yeah, I'm hustling. So hustling for me is, I had some phone sessions that day, right? Yeah, I know I do phone session bookings pretty much, like life coaching. People book with me to talk to me pretty much. So I said, hey, I'm hustling, I can't talk. So she said, oh, are you, or she texted me back and said, are you in Manhattan? And I said, no, I'm not in Manhattan. Like, what is she talking about? So then she said, oh, hustling, does that mean you're, no. So what happened was, she said that through text, and then the next time we spoke on the phone, that's when she said, hey, you said you were hustling the other day. And I said, yeah, why did you ask me if I was in Manhattan? It was just so weird to me because I live in Queens. So I was just like, what is she talking about? She was like, oh no, because you said you were hustling. So I thought maybe you were like hustling on the streets of Manhattan. So I said, wait, what? I said, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? So I was just like, you mean like a drug dealer? And then she just started laughing. And I didn't find that funny at all. I was just like, no, when I say I'm hustling, that means I have clientele. That means that I have phone session bookings for the day, right? Hey, Christopher. So I was like, what the hell? What? So to me, watch out for people like this. So what they'll try to do so they can get information from you, they will insult you to get that information from you. So don't fall for that. Ding, ding, dong. Yes. I had a narc sister-in-law, right? So my narc sister-in-law, she's like this overt type of narcissist. And then my sibling, my male sibling, I call him, he's a covert narc, right? So I remember when I used to be a hairstylist, I would say, well, I gotta go, I can't stay because I have a client, I have to go. And she'll say, oh, one of your clients, tell him I said hello. And she would always have this thing about, when I said I had a client, she basically would say, when I said I had a client, it meant prostitution. So do not let these narcs or manipulators, piss you off. That's what they'll do. They'll try to like belittle you and stuff. But then whenever I came back at her, she couldn't handle it. But yeah, I was pretty surprised. I think the first lady I was talking about, I think that she's cool, but I was just like, that's a manipulation tactic. Like, you don't need to know how I make money. That's none of your business. I know how she makes money because she offered that information to me. But if she never offered that information to me, I would have never asked her what she did for a living. I don't know why, but that's just how I am. I feel like eventually that comes out. When I meet a person, I don't go, what do you do for a living? That's like one of the last things. I feel like that's something naturally that would come out pretty much. But yeah, so that was to me when she did that. And ever since then, like, we used to talk a lot, but now we don't really talk as much. Like, we still talk, but we used to talk like maybe a few times a week. But now it's like, I was just, that's a red flag to me. That was really weird. I don't think that's appropriate. I think the appropriate thing to do should have been, hey, what do you do for a living? And it doesn't make any sense because how we met, she's booked a session with me before. Like, what the fuck? That's how we met. She's booked a phone session with me before. So it was just like, girl, you know what I do for a living. So you got to watch people like that, because a lot of people they're curious of how you move. They can't figure it out. They want to know information that has really nothing to do with them, pretty much. And that's something I've always been used to. Even when I was a hairstylist and I worked on my own, people be like, "You don't work in a salon?" And I'm like, "No." "You work for yourself?" "Yes." People get intimidated when you are a loner, when you're a chosen one, when you're a loner, when you're moving and shaking by yourself and you're doing it well, or at least you're making it look well. I understand that when I present myself, no one thinks that I'm having financial problems because of how I present myself. I don't care if I'm broke or if I have money, I'm always going to present myself well because that's who I am internally. It doesn't matter if I'm going through something horrible. I'm always going to present myself well. I'm not going to look busted plus feel busted. So a lot of people will get curious and they want to be in your business, but the truth is they're not living with you. They don't need to know how much money you make. They don't need to know the address of your job. They're not spending money on you. Why you need to know that? A lot of times it's just to compare. And a lot of times also they feel that they're busting their ass and they feel that you're spiritually blessed and you're being covered financially and they're working harder than you and they're trying to figure out what do they do? How's it that they seem like they're on my level, but I feel like I'm working harder than them. They seem like they're more blessed than me, but they're working less than me and they can't figure that out. And that's none of their business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. The soul contract you signed up for or what you got going on in your life, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Mind your business. You don't need to know how I pay my bills, how I eat, what I do. Like, we don't live in the same household, so don't feel coerced. Again, don't feel bullied into telling people your business. Because a lot of times they're not trying to help you to elevate your life. They just want to know your business so they can compare. They want to know your business to trigger you, to insult you, to control you, to use you. That's it. So be careful. Be very particular and use discernment and be wise in who you telling your business to. Because there's a lot of manipulators out there who's trying to use you. And some people be like, well, what's so bad about telling somebody what you do for work? There's nothing wrong with telling people what you do for work or where you live, but just understanding all kinds of consequences. Why do they need to know that information? Why you need to know who I'm sleeping with? Why you need to know who I'm dating? Why you got to meet my husband or you got to meet my wife? Huh? Mind your damn business. And it's crazy because a lot of these people, they don't tell their business. They in everybody else's business, but you don't know shit about them. You barely know anything about them. I didn't even know this person was a parent. You trying to find out how I get money, but I didn't even know you was a parent. Where they do that at? Huh? That's weird to me. People who ask the most questions and who are the nosiest, they never be telling you their business though. That's crazy. Exactly, Charles. Oh my God. Charles says they're always opinion based. Yeah, most of the time I feel like it's really just they're trying to be in your business. That's all. They want to compare, judge you. They need information, guys. A lot of time these people need information. The only way they can manipulate you or trigger you is if they have information on you, pretty much. But no, I don't be telling people my business like that. Mm-mm. Even recently, this person who I've known for a long time, um, we spoke recently and she was like, "Hey girl, what's going on? What's going on in your love life? And why are you asking all of this?" Then I said to her, I said, "What's going on with you?" "Nothing, nothing, ain't nothing going on, nothing, 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 nothing." "So you all in my damn business, but you ain't got nothing to say." Okay, I peeped that. So now I ain't got nothing to say. Nope. "What's going on with you?" "Nothing. I ain't got nothing to tell. I'm good. Even when I'm not good, I'm good." You cannot tell people or, that things are going on in your life a lot of times. You know, if you have people who you can confide in and you can trust them, I'm so happy for you. I don't really have that. I have a very small handful, basically. I'm an extrovert and I'm very private. So I don't think it's an extrovert introvert thing. Believe it or not, I have a lot of introverts who are nosy. In my lifetime as an extrovert, more introverts ask me my damn business. Those were the ones who were all up in my business, the introverts. People think that introverts don't talk. They talk. They only talk to who they want to talk to. And people be like, I've had introverted lovers and friends, and they be like, they so quiet. Why don't they talk? I'd be like, they talk. They just don't talk to you. Because when we get in that house, they and I'm like, shut up. Okay? Introverts talk. They just don't talk to everybody. Basically, they're very particular. They have their favorite people. They have their close people. They talk. And I'm an extrovert. And some people, when I go out into public, they think that I'm stuck up because I be like this. To myself. But they don't know that I'm this, bold, vibrant person. So, yep. But no, they just pick and choose. Both signs pick and choose. Another thing I noticed, people say that extroverts are always trying to be friends with people. That's not true. I don't go befriend people. I've had introverts come up to me. Hey, can I get your number? I'm shooting my friendship shot at you. Why? We're nothing alike. Why you want to hang out with me? I never understood that too. I never understood why extroverts were attracted to me. We're nothing alike. Nothing alike. Why you want to be my friend? I forgot. I never understood that. Even like Virgos. Virgo men are very introverted, right? And I asked the Virgo lover, what the hell you want with me? I'm nothing like you. All you like to do, you like to sit in the house and be quiet. Just do like, oh, let's eat dinner at home and watch movies. And I'm not into that. That's not me. So what the hell you want me for? I like going out, going on vacations, going here, going there. Like we two total opposites. I never understood that. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe yin and the yang is supposed to be together, but I never understood why do I attract so many. Oh, what is that? An MBTI type? What's that? Oh, that personality testing. I don't really care about that. But I do know that what is it called? Oh my goodness. It's this life type of path thing where I'm like what they say the projector, and then they have the leader type or something like that. I'm like this leader type of person that's supposed to guide people or whatever. I know who I am. I know my calling. I don't need personality tests. God already told me who I am and what I'm supposed to do. And I know my personality type. I know my calling. I know who I am. I know everything I'm supposed to do on the planet, pretty much. I don't really need those tests to tell me that. Now, if I was lost, I would probably go take those tests, but I'm not. I've had friends send them to me, like, take this. This looks fun. But when you know who you are, you know your calling, you ain't got to take those type of tests. I think those tests are good when you really feel lost, pretty much. You don't know, like, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You need more guidance. I think an astrological chart would be a better way to really learn who you are, to know like the different houses, and don't waste your time, or there's certain moments that you should be doing things or you should not be doing things. Like even this year, where I was born the year of the boar, 1983, and they claim we're supposed to have a horrible year, or we're supposed to lay low, so to say. I have a horrible year, but this is not supposed to be a year of abundance, because of, like, if you're born the year of the boar, the year of the snake, the year of the dragon, the year of the goat, like, find out what that is, but this is not supposed to be my year, pretty much, things like that. And I'm starting to see it, I'm trying not to agree with it, but I do think astrological charts can really help you. It can help you avoid sickness. It can help you avoid early death. It can help you build your money. It can even show you where you should live. So yeah, I think astrological charts can definitely help you out, pretty much. Nah, I don't want to know nothing about introverts. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, God. I'm not 300 pounds anymore. I lost 85 pounds, love. But thank you. Goodbye. But yeah, no, I don't want to, don't make me bigger than what I am, okay? I used to be over 300 pounds, and I'm not no more, and I ain't never trying to go back up to no 300 pounds. Oh, okay. All right. You annoying me. You got to get out of here, but God bless you. To me, the conversation of introverts and extroverts is so remedial. It's like pre-K in spirituality. It's like pre-K. That's like having a conversation about introvert and extrovert. It's like a pre-K conversation. That's something I was talking about when I was like 14. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't find the conversation interesting. I just don't find that conversation interesting. I just don't. And I feel like once you realize the energy of somebody, and you either mesh with them or you don't mesh with them, then just keep it moving. That's it. You feel what I'm trying to say? So like the person I talk to right now, the guy that I'm seeing right now, he's an introvert. I'm an extrovert, and we get along very well. We don't have issues with that. I do be like, why do I keep attracting these introverts? We're so different. But I've had great friends. Most of the time with my introvert friends, they like to hang out one-on-one. They don't like to hang out with me in groups. The extrovert friends, we can go out with 10 people and they won't feel overwhelmed or isolated. That's something I do notice about that. But, I don't really care about all of that, because I don't just identify myself as that. I identify myself as just other things, pretty much. But it is pretty annoying when I feel like introverts have a small circle. So a lot of times they could be a little needy of me. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like they want to talk to me because they don't talk to a lot of other people. And it's like, nah, like I got other people I got to talk to as well. I can't always answer your call or answer your text. So that's something that I noticed with those particular friends. Or maybe they just weren't introverted. Maybe they were just codependent. That could be it too. Or both. Or both, pretty much. Oh God, let me get these trolls out of here. Get these trolls. But y'all doing really good. Nobody commented at the trolls. Y'all listen to me. Thank you. Whenever there's trolls in here, don't comment at them. I'm going to see them. Just if you see a troll and I'm talking and I don't see them, just type troll. That's it. That's it. Don't repeat what they say. Only let me repeat what they say because I can make it comical. Basically. What you say, Venus Rose says your energy is supportive to introverts. I think you being self-assured, knowing who you are is appealing to the introverts. Oh, that could be it. I guess so. I could be both though. I can be mellow and hang out one-on-one, and you know, I can have calm energy, and then I can turn up too. You know, so what is it called when you're like a little bit of both? I forgot the name of it. But maybe that's the reason why, but I just never understood that. Like, I don't be approaching people for friendship. They approach me. I'd be shocked. I'd be like, why you want to hang out with me? Like, I'm too hyper for you, you know? But hey, like I said, opposites do attract. Make sure you click like on the chat for me, guys, and don't forget to send me donations, okay? I'm trying to think. I couldn't write down anything because my brain was just so messed up after that scamming situation happened today. I normally write down what I want to talk about, you know, during the lives, but I could not even write. I couldn't even think straight, pretty much. But do y'all have any questions? We already talked about the airplane crashes. What else did we need to talk about? I don't think there's like anything that, you know, our Cheeto, Mr. Cheeto, y'all know who I'm talking about. Mr. Trumpy, I don't feel like there's anything that we need to talk about. I did talk about the immigration thing. I did talk about the history, how it's being revealed. Oh, you know what I did notice? Like, the spirit of TikTok changed. That's what I would like to talk about. So the spirit of TikTok did change, and it doesn't feel right. So you know how like every social media platform has a spirit to it, right? So before they did this shutdown, TikTok had this open type of spirit, right? Now when I go on TikTok, first of all, they're not really allowing me to post anymore. So I would like, when I go to post a video, since they opened the TikTok back up, I think I've only made 3 videos. At first, I made my account private, right? And I didn't feel the desire to post because it was a weird, creepy feeling on TikTok. It was like dark entities watching me. That's what it felt like. Excuse me. When I went to go post, I could not post the video. I had to record, I think, 3 or 4 times, and then they shadow banned that first video. The second video I did, I had to post 6 times. Like, I had to save the video because they kept shutting the app down. So that's also what's happening on the app for me. When I go to open the app, it literally has like a black screen with the logo, and then it will just shut down. And I will literally have to try to open the app maybe 6 to 10 times before I actually can get on the app and use the app. So it's starting to break down already. For me, shadow banning me. So before I used to get thousands of views or thousands of likes or hundreds of likes on my videos. Now I think I'm down to like, the lowest I've seen on my video is like 34 likes. Like, they got me shadow banned real bad. They're also like flagging comments that aren't violating any community guidelines. So if I make a comment on somebody's video, they're flagging it and I'll have to go to appeal it. Another thing that happened to me, so the third video I posted since they opened back up, immediately it said content under review. And I'm going, what? Why is this video under review? So immediately they have my videos. It says content under review. So I probably will not be posting on TikTok like that. It's pointless. This is how they use cyber warfare on you. You know, they don't want me posting. I guess they even got pissed off because I told the truth. I did do a video right before they did the shutdown, which was at the 18th. January 18th, I told the truth of like how they've been shadow banning me, how they didn't pay me. So I guess TikTok did not like that I put the truth out there about what they did to me. And when I came back on the app, they started fucking with my videos. So I'm able to scroll, I'm able to like watch videos and stuff, but as far as my content, I'm like about almost completely silenced on the app. Definitely. You said this year's bringing weirdness with the tech stuff. Pluto's Aquarius changing, messing around with online things, power dynamics of the balance, glitches, locking people out of digital earning, shakeups. Yep, all that's going to happen. I mean, they've been doing it to me for like a year and a half now. They started doing this to me in like the end of 2023. So it's almost going on 2 years that they've been shadow banning me. So I'm used to it. It's cool. I mean, I plan to stay on YouTube. This will probably be my last year on YouTube. I'm going to be real with you. It just feels like Spirit is saying, just be quiet. Like, don't talk as much. You know, they're definitely watching and they want to silence us. They want control. They want full control. Too many people got awakened. And if you were a part of awakening the masses, they're going to just shut up. Like, I feel this year is a good year to lay low. Like, whatever you do, don't post about it. Don't tell your friends about it. Like, act like you're in the woods. That's really what I feel. I feel spiritually, we should act like we're literally in the fucking woods. Yep. Do everything in silence. You're building something, do it in silence. You're thinking of moving, or you got a new job, or you're planning something, just do it in silence. And I think right now, like, even if you have like community, like you saw what happened with there was this Black group called Hillman TikTok University. And basically it was like a whole bunch of Black alumni got together and they created this website, right? So this website is like all Black businesses, Black services, and things like that. A white woman went and tried to patent Hillman. And it's just like, yo, this is crazy. And this is sad to say, as a Black woman, this is why our ancestors used to meet in the woods, used to meet in secrecy. They're watching all of you, no matter what race you are. Be careful what you post. Be careful what you're saying. There's going to be times, leave your cell phone in the house and then go in your backyard or go in the street. Leave your phone in the house or cut your phone off and go outside and talk, okay? Because they're listening. I feel like you thought they was listening to us before. They're really fucking listening to us now. They are. They are. Big time. You feel it? Black Midnight, you feel it? It's so uncomfortable. Like before, I used to feel like I felt like I can freely talk. Now I feel like shh, be quiet. They're watching, they're listening even harder. And they'll want you out of here. They want you out of here when you're putting people on. And a lot of people's accounts is getting hit. A lot of people's money is getting hit. Sometimes they're not getting, the people on TikTok who get paid, they wasn't getting their money on time. They fucking with everybody. They're hitting people's pockets, and they're hitting us spiritually as well. They're trying to silence us pretty much. So I don't feel comfortable really talking about certain things. Like, I used to talk about deeper topics on TikTok, and now my topics are a lot watered down now, pretty much. So I'm not telling you to stop. You know, some people will be instructed to keep talking, but for me, I feel like God, universe is telling me to like be a little bit more quieter and watch what you're saying, because you're definitely being watched. And being watched can, they can do anything. You know, like I told you, the weirdest thing happened to me, right? They can start fucking with you in all kind of ways. Like, look what happened to me. I got scammed today out of $300. And then last month, in January, I was supposed to start a new job on the 13th. Out of nowhere, this never happened to me ever in my life. I got an email from the HR. I actually emailed them and said, hey, what should I wear on the first day of work? And it was like, actually, we've put a pause on your hiring. And I said, wait, what? But I'm already hired. Huh? Yes, we'll be in touch when we have more information. What the fuck are y'all talking about? What information? Keep in mind, guys, I have no record. I've never been arrested. I've only been fired from one job in my entire life. I have no like jobs where there was like some type of weird like I was reported for something or anything like that. I've never had anything happen to me like that. So to be unhired, what the hell is going on? So I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but just be careful, because it's giving weird occurrences, just weird things, you know, happening this year. And they can hit you in all kind of ways. They can fuck with your bank account. They can fuck with your money, your relationships, your friendships, your social media, all of that. Right now, all of that's getting hit. All that's getting hit pretty much right now. Hey, Latangela, how are you? I am trying to stay afloat, girl. You'll have to watch the playback and see what's going on with me. I got a lot going on right now. It's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life. But definitely, just listen to spirit. Listen to spirit on maybe even getting prepared. I think a blackout could be coming soon too. So I do want to get like those chargers that you can use like in sunlight. So maybe invest in that. Maybe invest in anything you feel you might need. Anything you feel that you might need if there's going to be a blackout. Because they tell us, just like they did with the pandemic, they told us before it came. So I wouldn't be surprised if before the end of this year, they might have another pandemic for us. I think this is going to be a rough year, you know, and it's difficult because it's like you want to care, you want to react, but at the same time, we have our inner world. We got our own family problems, our own internal problems, spiritual issues, work issues. You still got to pay bills to live on this dusty ass planet. So it's like you want to empathize and sympathize with everything that's going on, but how can I, you know? Like I just experienced something horrific in January that I never thought I would go through, you know, and I will share that when I'm ready to share that. But I couldn't even think straight. How can I cry for immigrants? Or how can I cry for plane crash when I'm crying for myself? It's crazy. It's so much. And like shout out to the empaths. Shout out to the people who have spiritual gifts. You're having like anxiety and depression and all these different things. But what about your inner world? Do you really do? And their energy harvesting our energy. They want us to be in depression. They want us to be sad. They want to control our emotions. They want our energy. So right now, I don't like, if I come off cold, it's not that I'm being cold. I got to control my inner worlds. I gotta control my life and what's going on in my world. I can't keep crying and putting out all this energy to the fuck shit that's going on. And they the ones that's creating it. They the ones that's crashing them damn planes. They the ones that's sending people away. So I'm trying, to focus on what I can control. And all I can control is myself right now, pretty much. Woo! Latangela, maybe God got something better for you. Oh yeah, definitely. I ain't crying over that job. It's just shocking to me. And, I've been unemployed since June. So it's very frustrating to go through all these interviews, to be hired, and then to be unhired and not even told why. What the hell is going on here? I did get some type of racist energy from them, but I don't know what it is. They never wrote me back. They never contacted me and told me why. And I just let it go, So it's just frustrating, pretty much. Charles says things will get worse before it gets any better. Keep in the spirit. Yep, it's true. Things will get worse before it gets better. And it has to, because this country is built, oh God, guys, a lot of you are not even aware. If you knew how this country was built, you have to understand how many people died. They stole the land. How many people were sacrificed through all the corruption and thievery all across this world. Okay, they stole people's names. They stole people's bodies. They ate dead people's bodies. They did rituals. They killed children. Oh, they did contracts with other beings in other worlds. It all has to come crumbling down. It's over. The contract is up, guys. And the only way for us to have a new world is that it has to be destroyed. It has to be new. So a lot of what you're seeing, you'll never understand it, but it has to be deconstructed. It has to be. And it's sad that some people have to die because it has to be a new world. They did so much corruption. And then the earth is responding to all of this. So that's the earthquakes and the tsunamis. Mother Earth is pissed the fuck off. I'm gonna be real with you. I done told God, just send a big wave. Wash us out. Wash us out. Take us out with that big old ocean wave. Let's go. Wash us out. Send it on. Thank you. Is it Marnez? Sorry if I chopped your name up. Monars, right? Okay. Yeah, just send that wave, God. Send that big old ocean wave, all right? I'm under that water. I ain't gonna feel it. I'm gonna go under. Oh my gosh. So it's very sad what is occurring and that we're living through it. And I feel bad for y'all who do have small children, try to make the best of it, tell them the truth, but don't tell them too much because they're not able to handle it. I remember when I was a little girl, I would have these end of the world type dreams, all the time. Like the things that are occurring now, that was in my dreams when I was a little girl. I don't really have those dreams too much now, I guess, because I don't really need those dreams. But I did experience something really crazy last month. So I had a great loss last month, right? And you know what was crazy? My dreams went black. It freaked me out because I'm a dreamer. I dream a lot, and that's how I get my messages. And I noticed right before this tragedy happened to me, I my dreams just went black. Like I was going to sleep and I literally just saw black in my head. I was like, what is that? I was like, am I going to die or something? Why am I not dreaming? It was just like black space. I would go to sleep and just be dreaming just black space. Has anybody ever experienced that? And I kept going, God, why am I dreaming of just black? That freaked me out. I thought I was about to be out of here. I'm going to be real with you. My dreams are back now. But for a few weeks in January, I was dreaming of just a black space. That's it. That was just so creepy. And I was like, oh, this is what those people who don't have thoughts, inner thoughts, is this what their brain looks like? But I just was not dreaming. And then I finally prayed and asked God, can you please send me a dream? And I could only remember 2 dreams from January. So that was just really strange, but definitely pay attention to your dreams and write your dreams down and, build that relationship with the creator because you're going to be led. That's how you're going to know what to do. A lot of you are going to be like, I don't know what to do. Should I move? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I quit my job? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I help this person? Should I not help this person? And the only way you're going to know what to do next is by having that inner voice, that connection with God, that connection with the creator, whoever you believe in is going to guide you. That is internal. That's why they do this, guys. That's why they want you attached to social media, to phones, to all different kind of things that are outside of us so that we will not be able to get the messages. That's the reason why. You have to be plugged in to get those messages, So be careful. Start trying to disconnect from these worldly things, basically, Pretty much. I even been practicing not eating as much, because I feel like a famine might come up. And maybe for the last 2 weeks, I actually lost 2 pounds. Because I wasn't eating much. I was fasting and eating once a day, and now look at me, the $300 got stolen from me. Maybe that was God preparing me because bitch, you about to starve. You about to starve because your money about to be stolen. I can laugh at it, but it ain't funny. But even start doing that, start practicing fasting, eating 1 meal a day. I even started drinking a shitload of water. Because there might be a time where we can't get our juice. I don't drink soda, but you can't get your wine or you can't get your juice. But you might have access to water and you need to kind of prepare, your body and the cravings. I even want to do a cleanse because, to get the parasites out and stuff like that. But that is also something that I feel like we should work on as well. Keep working on your healing because if you're not healed, then you won't be able to hear. You'll be lost. You'll be so focused on your trauma and you won't be able to be spiritually guided. Another thing I noticed too is the isolation is getting worse. I don't know what's going on with y'all, but I literally I just can't believe I don't really have no form of community. That is weird. I don't have any friends. And the friends that I do have don't live in New York. I hang out with, the man that I'm seeing right now. I hang out with him, but besides him, I be by myself. And I'm just like, I wonder why God has it this way. Some of you will have plenty of family, community, but a lot of you will walk alone. And I'm just like, whoa, this is really weird. And, I'm not thinking oh, this is my husband or the love of my life or anything like that. I'm not even thinking like that about him. But I do wonder why. Why does God have it that way? Why am I alone majority of the time? And then I have this lover. That's it. It's just, I guess God is like, that's all you need. Some of us will be those type of warriors. You will be alone. That's it. You might have one good friend. You might have only two good friends. I do have a male friend that lives around the corner from me, but we haven't hung out in 6 months. It's been about 6 months since we've hung out. Hi, Anthony. You feel the same, Whirlwind? Like, you feel like you're like your own tribe in a sense? I want to have like a tribe, but at the same time, people are in their own worlds. And I notice that a lot of people are not good at relationships. I feel like people had a lot of bad things happen. They went through a lot, especially if you're a millennial, okay? A lot of people went through a lot in these last 10 years, to the point that I think sometimes people forget how to communicate, forget how to be a friend. So when I'm meeting people, they seem so deficient. I'm not thinking I'm all that, but some people just, all they want to talk about is their trauma. I don't want to talk about my trauma all the time. Like, let's go do a pottery class or a pizza making class, or let's take a trip. Let's go to the beach, or let's go to a bookstore, drink some chai tea. Like, let's research something. But people just want to be friends with you so they can have someone to trauma bond with. I'd rather just rock by myself and just enjoy these experiences, or like, have a lover and enjoy those experiences with him, because I can't do this. I can't. I talk about trauma for living. I talk to people about their trauma for living. So in my friendships, I don't want to do that. Even with my lover, I don't want to talk about trauma, like, but I understand that people are hurting, but it's like, when does it come to a point when people are just ready to build on happiness? When are we ready to build on constructing protection for ourselves and our community? You get what I'm trying to say? I mean, we can't sit around talking about strawberries and rainbows and puppies all day, but it's just like, we can't sit around talking about our trauma either. We have to build a community. We have to build a family. We gotta come up with solutions and help each other out and make the best of it until we ride this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Whirlwind says, pretty much, I don't even have an emergency contact. It's crazy. Oh man, yeah. I'm the same way too. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, a lover is my emergency contact. That's what's really crazy. And then for a while, it was an ex that was my emergency contact. That's how bad it was, that I had to ask my ex and be like, hey, can I leave you as my emergency contact? And he was like, yeah, of course. That's crazy, because there's no one that I can call and depend on. But you know what? There's going to be a time, a lot of us are going to be living in this time where it doesn't look traditional. A lot of your lives will never look right to people, and it's okay. It doesn't have to look right to people. You don't have to impress people with your life. Your life is going to look unique because you are a unique soul. And, you don't have to tell people your business. Hey, Allie. You ask God why every day? Don't ask God why. Just go with the flow. You'll be provided for. What if the things that we think that we should have, we really don't need? And if we did need it, why don't we have it? And a lot of times I think we see people with things, and it's like, why do they have it and I don't have it? Maybe because you don't need it. Maybe they got it because they do need it. You ever think about that? And I think a lot of times that's why people even have spiritual jealousy, because I know a lot of people have spiritual jealousy of me because they be like, damn, how's she surviving? She literally by herself. Maybe a lot of us are supposed to be alone. Does it bother me sometimes? Uh, I don't really get lonely. It's just that sometimes it's good to have that community or someone to talk to. Sometimes I do miss that portion of having family, really. Not too much friends, but I do miss like having my mom and things like that, but or having like a family structure, but not too much friends. But maybe if you feel like you're lacking something, it's because you really don't need it. That could be it. Yep. Yep. And some people get jealous. I noticed that a lot of people have gotten jealous because they're trying to figure out how, if I was her, I wouldn't be able to survive. If I was them, I wouldn't be able to survive. But you have to understand, we are surviving with less than them. And we make it look damn good. Okay. So a lot of people are not like us. Their life is not designed like us. And that's okay. We don't have to be like them. Maybe we just don't need it. And that's why we don't have it. That could be it. I travel to make up for it. I'm a nomad. I think that's an excellent remedy. Because you get experiences from it. And then when you're traveling, you're going to meet people. Some people say, oh, that's escaping. I don't really think it's escaping. I think it's really a lifestyle. Like, what are you supposed to do? It's almost like sometimes people want you to suffer more. It's like, damn, I'm already by myself. You want me to be even more alone? Some people are that wicked. Some people don't want you to travel. They don't want you to find happiness in other spaces. It's like, no, you're supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to get married and have kids and have friends and do this and do that. No, my happiness looks a little different than yours. My lifestyle looks different than yours. Yep. So yeah, I've definitely had people, it's almost like they want you to be miserable. Damn, she ain't got no husband like me and she's not miserable. Why not? How can I make her feel bad about not having a husband? How can I make her feel bad about not being a mother? How can I make her feel bad about not being skinny? How can I make her feel bad about not having a mama and a daddy? Damn, how the fuck is how I got more than her and I'm happier than her? You ever think about that? A lot of times the people who walk alone are more peaceful in life. They love themselves more and they're satisfied. They're content. They know who they are. They're sure, Oh God, let me get this nasty people out of here. These people freaky, man. These people nasty up in here. Gross. Oh, LaJordan says, how do you deal with a coworker who won't stop hovering over you in your new job? Sometimes I think the management is on it and wants me to quit. Hovering over you like they think that they're your manager? That's what you mean? See, I'm mean. I'm mean at the job. Okay. Here we go. Get these trolls out of here. Okay. The coworker is the same rank as you. Oh. Well, I see, me and you are different. I confront people pretty much. I give people looks. I use my eyes. I use my body language. So say if someone says something to me, say if like they insult me or they say something to me or they're like trying to guide me, like they're my boss, I'm going to confront them. Like if a person says something and I'm going to say, what do you mean by that? And I'm going to look at them. Explain yourself. What do you mean by that? Right? If they don't respect my look. So if they say something, so say if I'm at my desk and they keep coming around me and trying to boss me around, I will stop and I will look at them. Just like that, and I will stare at them. I will do things like this. I will tell them you're crossing my boundaries. If I feel like they're not responding to my body language and me putting up my boundaries, or we're taking a nice little walk into HR. Don't tell them. Set that meeting up, or the phone number you have at HR, and tell them what's going on. So I talk to coworkers first. I let them know what you just said and what you just did. Don't you ever do that again. I do not like it. So I talk to them. I give them a chance to change their ways. Usually they back off of me. You have to be stern. You can't be talkative at work. When you're too talkative, people think you're a joke and they won't respect you. You can't be too sweet, too kind, bringing in snacks and coffee and all that. You can't do that. Gifts and stuff, you can't. They'll think you're a fucking joke. You could be nice, but put up boundaries. He keeps telling me how to do something and finding mistakes in my work. Like, keeps telling me to have meetings first thing in the morning, but even the management wants him to coach me. That's irritating. I don't want to get fired. If I confront him. It's a remote job, but he constantly is messaging me. Just have a conversation with your management then. If you're like afraid to get fired and stuff, then just have a conversation with your management. Because if not, you're just going to have to deal with that type of annoyance and abuse. It's not going to change. It's not going to change, pretty much. So don't answer. Don't answer. But I think at this point, you need to go talk to management and say, hey, I'm uncomfortable. Like, they're texting me. I mean, they're emailing me too much during the day. Did you ask him to train me or something? Like, am I not up to par in my work? If so, like, what is it that you need me to fix? Because it's making me uncomfortable that this person keeps emailing me multiple times in a day. I need to get my work done. So you cannot avoid confrontation, guys. Confrontation is not bad. You have to put your foot down or you'll always take shit at these jobs. That's it. It's either you confront the issue or you take the shit. There's only two options. That's it. You have to. Yeah, I feel like you have to go talk to the management. If it's bothering you that bad, then you have to go talk to management. See, me, I probably wouldn't even answer the emails. And then I would just go to management and show them the emails and say, hey, like, do you have a problem with my work? Because all these multiple emails are bothering me. What's going on? Tell me what I need improvement in, or if maybe you can team me up with someone else. Because there's only going to be two options. Y'all have to sit down and have a meeting, go talk to the boss first. Because if not, that's it. You don't want to get fired. You don't want to leave. You want your money. It's either going to have to deal with his bullshit or you're going to have to confront the issue. That's it. Those are your two choices. Oh my God. Get your ass out of here. See, I confront coworkers. I don't work in corporate. So any job I had, I confronted the coworker first. They didn't change the behavior. And then that's when I would call a meeting in with the manager. I would talk to the manager first, and then they would have me and the coworker in the office, or they would talk to them separately. That's just what I do. And me, I ain't afraid of getting fired, pretty much. But that's your only two options: confront the issue or to deal with the bullshit. I mean, isn't there a record of you performing the job? Isn't there evidence that you're doing your job? You might be in a narcissistic situation, pretty much. And if you're in a narcissistic job environment, you're not going to win. You will not win. You know, what you could do is not perform and get them to fire you, and you get unemployment and you move on. When you're in these job situations, whenever you start to have these issues, it's time to move on. But first, try to talk it out. It might change if you have a talk with him in the management. Maybe something will change. But that's definitely a narcissistic job situation, and all the narcissistic job situations I was in, I ended up having to leave. They use all these tactics, and then the last tactics was fucking with my money, effing with my schedule, effing with my money, to the point I had to leave. So that's the end result of it. So you have to confront or you have to move on. Because it's in those narcissistic dynamics, in those jobs, you're never going to win. You're never going to win unless you're in a situation to where you're able to sue them. There's some people who sue those narc jobs and they won. So that's it. You have to talk to the management. Because if not, you're going to be driven crazy the entire time that you're there. Oh, you just got there? Well, okay. Well, now you know what you're going to deal with. If you just got there, this is what you're going to deal with. Unfortunately, you're in, a situation. But I think you should ask, hey, what am I not doing? If you've only been there for 3 weeks, you may not know the system. It might be you. You might be fucking up. So why don't you go to the management and say, hey, what am I fucking up on? Maybe she sent him, or your boss sent him to help you. So I thought you were like proficient in your job. You just got there. So you might be fucking up. So find out. You might need some extra training. Pretty much. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It was great talking to you. Don't forget to donate to me. Also, guys, I do phone booking sessions. So if you want to talk about spirituality, narcissism, chosen one journey, starting your healing journey, relationships, zodiacs, whatever you want to talk about, spirituality, you can book a phone session with me. It's $20 for 30 minutes, $40 for 1 hour. And I do have availability next week, starting Monday. And you can email me in order to book a phone session. Okay? There's nothing off limits we could talk about in those phone calls as long as it's kosher. Okay? All right. Thank you for chatting with me. Don't forget to click like on this video. And I'll probably timestamp where I talked about, the worldly things and narcissism so that people will be able to watch the video better. How to book a phone session with me and how to donate to me will be in the comment section. I'm going to do it right now, put it in the comment section when I sign out of this live. All right. Have an amazing week. I'll be back whenever I feel like I have spiritual energy to talk to you guys, or I have a topic to talk about. Hopefully y'all enjoy this live. And good luck, LaJordan, at that job, but you just got there. And just go talk to management and find out basically what you're good at and what you're not good at, pretty much. And good luck. Good luck to everybody. Have an amazing week. Stay safe out there, guys, because the world is bugging out. Peace.